9 indie adventures are landing on Steam this week, and not one of them is playing it safe. We're talking a raccoon hunting cassette tapes, a cocky android whose whole crew keeps dying, and a forest that swallows hikers whole. Same genre, wildly different moods, and every single one is looking for a home on your wish list. 1. Flux Empyrean. Launches July 13, 2026. Start with this. What if the end of the world wasn't a bang, but a puzzle you were meant to solve? Flux Empyrean drops you onto a vast planet stretched out under a blanket of stars, and it calls itself an open-world mystery about understanding the end of the world. You sail across it, using your tools and your wits to remind yourself of what was lost and what could come next. Here's the hook. The Flux doesn't want to give up its secrets, and get this, you are one of those secrets too. So you're basically investigating yourself while you investigate everything else. There's no rush, no hand-holding, just you, the horizon, and a slow-burning question hanging over all of it. If you love quiet exploration that trusts you to think, this one wants a spot on your list. 2. The Adventures of Hooman. Launches July 8th. 2026. Now let's lighten the mood completely. The Adventures of Hooman is a sci-fi comedy graphic novel, and the main character might be the most gloriously arrogant android in the galaxy. You play Hooman, described as too conceited to be scared and too lucky to die, which is honestly a personality I aspire to. Here's the running joke. Your entire crew is going to die, and the game makes it very clear they could have avoided it if they had only listened to you. You're not the problem. Everyone else is the problem. Can you imagine being that confident while the ship falls apart around you? It leans fully into that dry, cocky comedy energy, and the graphic novel presentation gives every disaster its own cinematic little punchline. If you like your adventures served with a side of ego and a laugh, Hooman is worth a click. 3. The Lost Mixtape. Launches July 10th, 2026. Okay, this next one is pure comfort food. In The Lost Mixtape, you play a raccoon with a cassette player, hunting for new tracks to dumpster dive to, which might be the most specific mood ever committed to a video game. You explore an abandoned mall and everything around it, digging through trash, uncovering secret paths, and gathering hidden cassettes tucked away in the mess. The whole thing runs on that lovely little idea that someone's trash is a raccoon's treasure. It's a short, casual adventure, so don't expect an epic. Expect a cozy afternoon of poking around and finding tiny treasures. Have you ever just wanted to switch off and rummage through a forgotten place at your own pace? That's the entire vibe here. Warm, low stakes, and quietly charming. If you need something to unwind with between the heavier games, this raccoon has you covered. 4. Aetherial. Launches July 10th, 2026. Alright, kill the lights for this one. Aetherial is psychological horror, and it wastes no time telling you exactly what it is. A believer, a missing hiker, an ancient forest that swallows people whole. Your job is to find what they left behind before dark, and the game piles on the dread with 3 little warnings. Before the compass fails, before the silence takes hold, before she finds you. Let that last one just sit for a second. There's no combat here and no escape, which means you can't fight your way out of anything. You keep moving and you hope the dark stays behind you. That's what makes this kind of horror so nasty. When you can't win, all you can do is dread. If you like slow, suffocating fear over cheap jump scares, Aetherial is going to crawl right under your skin. Maybe don't play this one alone. 5. Beghost. Launches July 8th, 2026. Let's pick the pace back up. Beghost is a narrative-heavy 2D action-adventure set deep in the bowels of a haunted dungeon, and you are not going in alone. Your companion is a ghost girl named B, and together you're trying to claw your way out while uncovering the dungeon's darkest secrets. Expect enemies, expect traps, Expect the whole place to actively want you dead as you fight and dodge your way toward the exit. What grabs me is that blend. It's not just wall-to-wall combat, there's a real story threaded through all of the danger. So every room you survive peels back a little more of what's really going on down there. Who is B, and why is she helping you? That question alone kept me curious. If you want action with actual atmosphere and a partner worth caring about, Beghost deserves a look before it slips past you. 6. Skeptikos. Launches July 13th, 2026. Here's a mysterious little one that plays its cards close. Skeptikos is a solo experience set in what the game only calls a strange formation center. And honestly, that vagueness is part of the pull. Your task is simple to describe and probably not so simple to actually do. Resolve the puzzles. Find the secrets scattered around the place. That's it. That's the pitch. And sometimes, that stripped-back approach is exactly what makes a game stick with you. There's something about being dropped into an odd, unexplained space with only your curiosity to guide you. No big tutorial, no hand-holding, just you poking in a strange environment until it starts giving up its secrets. What is this place? And why are you here? I genuinely don't know, and that's exactly what makes me want to find out. If you love quiet puzzle boxes that reward the curious, keep an eye on this one. 7. Evil Thing. Launches July 9th, 2026. Now we go somewhere darker and stranger. Evil Thing sets you deep in the mountains at a dying fox shrine, and you step in as a new shaman with a spiritual bond to immortals. That bond makes you its guardian. The problem is, this temple is no sanctuary. Corruption is spreading, dark forces are watching from just out of sight, and the whole thing boils down to one tense question. Can you survive each night in this cursed land? I love how much atmosphere is packed into that setup. A crumbling shrine, old spirits, and the slow creep of something rotten in the walls. It sits in this eerie spot between quiet adventure and something more haunting. Do you hold the line as the darkness closes in, or does the shrine finally go silent for good? If a moody, folklore-soaked setting speaks to you, Evil Thing is worth adding to the watch list. 8. Transhumance. Launches July 8th, 2026. Time to breathe out again. Transhumance is a gentle adventure about a journey, and your best friend on it is a trusty dragonfly. Together, you gather and guide your herd across many different landscapes, steering them around dangers and over obstacles, all heading toward the summer pastures. That's the whole quiet quest, get everyone there safely. There's something really soothing about a game built around shepherding rather than fighting, where the challenge is care and patience instead of combat. Just you, your little dragonfly guide, and a herd that leans on you to read the land ahead of them. Can you keep every single one of them safe all the way to the top? It has that calm, almost meditative pull that the best cozy games have. If you want something soft and unhurried to melt into after a long day, let this gentle trek up the mountain be your reset button. 9. ORPHEUS, To Hell and Back. Launches July 12th, 2026. And let's close the lineup with some real style. ORPHEUS, To Hell and Back takes that timeless Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice and reimagines it as a mesmerizing action puzzle game, all wrapped in a gorgeous 80s chibi anime look. Yeah, you read that right. Ancient tragedy meets retro anime. Cool. You know the legend. A journey down into hell to bring back a lost love, and the game promises to bring it to life right in the palm of your hands. What sells me is that clash of tones, something this old and heartbreaking rendered in bright, chunky, neon-soaked style. That contrast alone makes it stand out from every other adventure this week. Can you make it to hell and back without losing everything? If you want a myth retold with real personality and bold art direction, save ORPHEUS for last and let it surprise you. That's 9 indie adventures worth watching this week, and every one of them is a small team hoping you notice. If even one caught your eye, drop it on your wish list right now. It genuinely helps these devs more than you'd think. Then hit subscribe so you never miss the next batch. See you in the next one.